This is calcium hydroxide or lime in water, reverse osmosis purified water test. I want to see what sort of electrolysis performance we get. The water is 85 degrees. And showing about 5 amps on the ammeter. At 3 minutes, I'm showing 88 degrees in the water. Five amps on the ammeter, and I observe foam on the surface. Looks like good production in the electrolysis department. I note that in order to do this, there was a lot of precipitate, meaning I probably only need like 1/8 of a teaspoon per gallon in order to get some results. I'll have to adjust to see. At 13.5 minutes, I'm showing 101 degrees in the water. 9 maybe or 10 amps on the ammeter, and I'm getting foam on the surface, a little bit of brown along with it, and there's a little bit of brown particulate floating around near the top. At 20 minutes, I have 109 degrees in the water, about 10 amps on the ammeter. There's still foam on the surface. The brown is progressing as I would expect. I'd say this is as vigorous as any, but it's pretty evident I have way too much electrolyte in the jar. Should not be that much particulate to start. At just about 34 minutes, I've got 122 degrees in the water. There's a little bit of disruption in the foam because I interrupted the test for a moment. I'm running about 7 amps right now with the configuration I've got. At 44 minutes and 45 seconds, I noticed that a lot of the foam has dissipated. That may be because of turning it on and off. I see a lot of really vigorous movement of the particulate in the water. And the amount of brown is growing. It'll be interesting to see how it looks when it's done. I have 129 degrees in the water and about 11 amps. At just under 56 minutes, I got 139 degrees in the water. About 11 amps. And there's a lot of particulate activity, which I sort of expected anyway, but I'm also seeing pretty good gas production. Well, at 1 hour and 4 minutes, I got 145 degrees in the water. Maybe 12 amps on the ammeter. I see a lot of brown particulate floating around. Some of it's already settled. The foam has disappeared, leaving what looks like a brown bathtub ring. And we'll see what happens. I'm going to run it to 1 hour and 45 minutes like I do with all the tests. At 1 hour and 16 minutes and some change, I got 153 degrees in the water. Probably 13 amps on the ammeter. There's quite a bit of particulate, and the particulate is larger than normal, not very fine. Foam has not returned. At an hour and a half I got 160 degrees in the water. It's like 13 amps. Quite a bit of particulate, and the particulate is pretty chunky. But I also see pretty good gas production. Alright, an hour and 45 minutes has elapsed. I show 163 degrees in the water. About 12 or maybe 13 amps on the ammeter. There's a considerable amount of particulate. I'm going to drop this down so it's a little easier to see. There's already a lot of particulate that's settled. The foam that was on early eventually disappeared, is gone. I see sort of a bathtub ring on the glass. That may be due to the foam. It might be because of the calcium in the water. I'm not sure which yet. I'll have to clean the glass to see. It's apparent that I oversaturated the water. You can tell that by the line of white particulate at the bottom. I'm thinking that maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon per gallon is more the correct concentration. I'm going to do a saturation test on that to be sure. But test is over.